Breaking: automakers are cutting EV production. EVs are facing reality checks, and automakers are scaling back their EV plans. As much as manufacturers try to enhance subsidies and rates to help EV sales, people are still not buying EVs. This and other factors prompted auto giants like Toyota Motors, Honda Motors, Ford Motor Company, BMW, Volkswagen, General Motors, and others like Ferrari and Mercedes to cut their EV production. At the moment, the pertinent question to ask is why? Now, let's break it down. Since transportation accounts for about 1/3 of the U.S. greenhouse gas emissions, many private and government experts see the adoption of EVs as a vital tool to reduce carbon emissions. Automakers and dealers worldwide see a glimpse of hope in the technological advancement EVs would provide. However, it soon dawned on many players in the auto industry that EVs are not the future they have anticipated. First, the demand for EVs slowed, forcing the automakers to cut down on EV production. Experts have earlier projected acceleration in the EV market for the upcoming years with the launch of cheaper models. Bloomberg even joined these experts to anticipate a 21% increase in 2023 for EVs and plug-in hybrid vehicle sales, with 70% of those fully electric. Not only is the EV market experiencing a dynamic interplay between supply and demand with the recent overstock challenge, but EVs also don't come cheap. Automakers spend a lot to build EVs, and consumers bear much of that. While service shops and gas stations are easy to come by, EV maintenance specialists and charging stations are far less common. And we're not even talking about how EV batteries, the driving force behind technological evolution, causes many difficulties for automakers and potential consumers. There are also shipping challenges and a lack of EV industry predictability, making it hard for the average consumer to invest in such a significant purchase. But not only consumers are skeptical of EVs, manufacturers and even dealers are questioning the technology. Take, for instance, BMW's big boss, Oliver Zipse, who has advocated for flexible production lines for hybrid, combustion, and even hydrogen-based vehicles for years. Now, the German multinational manufacturer of luxury vehicles is saying goodbye to EVs after solving the issues related to hydrogen engines. Ford Motor Company has come out to declare that it would shut down one of its factories in Dearborn, Michigan that produced the 2023 F-150 Lightning EV. The Ford F-150 pickups, which were originally doing over $90,000 MSRP with the platinum trims when first made, are now more than $20,000 below MSRP and still not selling. The automaker is postponing about $12 billion in planned spending on the new EV manufacturing capacity. While Ford plans to spend on future EVs, it would ramp up the capacity more gradually than anticipated. This decision resulted in customers in North America being unwilling to pay a premium for EVs. The carmaker lost about $3.1 billion on Model E EV units through 3 quarters of 2023 and $4.5 billion of a full-year operating loss. Ford is not the only automaker that has cut EV production. General Motors CEO Mary Barra declared that the company would delay the production of its EV pickup trucks at its Michigan factory by a few months. Not only is the Detroit carmaker facing an uphill battle regarding profitability for its ambitious EV line, but Barra has acknowledged that the company's EVs will not be profitable until 2025. While GM aims to sell 1 million EV models a year, it ran into a loss in 2022 by selling around 44,000 cars. The company's now funding the losses through its ICE business, noting that EVs won't be as profitable as gas-powered vehicles. As if that is all, Mercedes-Benz has declared that it's backing off its plan to sell only EVs after 2030. A sales growth slowdown has stopped the company's ambition of an all-electric future. A few years ago, Mercedes planned to phase out gas-based vehicles. But the automaker cannot follow through with its plans, which conflicts with the projected rosier outlook of 50% of EV sales in its fourth quarter earnings. The German carmaker shares fell to about 6% in the last quarter of 2023, as rival carmakers sold EVs for less than regular combustion engines, despite the higher production costs. This opened Mercedes executives' eyes to the brutal space of the EV market, as so many factors make it an unsustainable venture. As for Toyota Motors, well, we all know the story. The then CEO, Akio Toyoda, has long emphasized autonomy in deciding the future of the automotive industry and the importance of customer choice. Even though the automaker pioneered EVs, it is not committed to producing EVs exclusively. His opposition and reluctance were met with criticism from many quarters. While some named the Japanese automaker a villain for potentially hindering the transition to an all-electric, greener future, others saw the carmaker as a hero for its commitment to cater to a broader audience. Even though Toyota ranked last in the Global Green Car Report, it has pressured governments to support fossil fuel-based hybrid cars, blocked clean air regulations, and lobbied against EV regulations in Australia. The automaker also threatened to leave the UK if the government banned hybrid vehicles in 2030 and lobbied against a 2023 phase-out on internal combustion engine vehicles in India. Volkswagen wasn't left out of this move to cut EV production. Not only did Volkswagen halt EV production in some of its factories across Germany, but it has also canceled its plan to build a new $2 billion factory in Wolfsburg. Since the German government has decided to end EV subsidies for business customers, EV sales have plummeted, since business customers buy 70% of EVs manufactured in Zwickau. Consumers had other lingering concerns about EVs, like high electricity rates, the driving range of EV batteries, and charging infrastructure, among others. Now, let's discuss how Tesla has fared in this rocking boat of EVs. To start with, Tesla owners are saddled with the headaches and unexpected expenses of switching to an EV. These owners were shocked to discover that EV tires go through around 30% faster than typical combustion engine vehicles. So they had to replace their tires much sooner. They also had to face other after-sales issues after getting a Tesla: the long wait times for charging, exorbitant prices, and poor repairs. Tesla's winter woe has also resulted in a storm of disruption and challenges. The technical obstacles and extreme weather conditions, strategic pricing changes, and supply chain disruptions have raised concerns about Tesla's growth trajectory. These and other factors have impacted the company's stock price, contributing to a 13% decline in January 2024. And we're not talking about how the company lost over $95 billion in market valuation in the first 2 weeks of 2024. This is the biggest market capitalization hit the company has seen over the years since it went public in 2010. With BYD surpassing Tesla's EV sales in the fourth quarter of 2023, Elon Musk's Tesla struggles to retain its crown as the king of EVs. The Biden administration has poured political capital and money into EVs through the 2021 infrastructure law and the IRA. This radical rush to green agenda has forced people to drive EVs, taking away their vehicle choices. But people want vehicles that suit their needs, not top politicians' aggressive EV mandates. About 5,000 American car dealers told the American president exactly this after EVs piled up on their lots. These dealers demanded Biden and Democrats to pause their unrealistic agenda. Amid the showdown, car dealers claim that EVs are sitting longer on their lots than gas-based cars, with buyers complaining about their EVs not meeting their advertised range or having charging issues. Biden had to make a shift by slowing down the pace of its proposed yearly emissions requirements through 2030. With the UAW breathing down on Biden and Donald Trump claiming the EVs are a scam and too expensive, Biden must relax his aggressive agenda with the elections around the corner. But wait a minute, there's the China angle that many missed. The forced EV transition is as good as playing right into China's hands, since it controls the significant parts of mineral mining, processing, and manufacturing of EVs. More than 70% of the world's cell manufacturing capacity of EV batteries belongs to China. Now, China wants to further its grip on EV technology than any other country by implementing export control on graphite, the backbone of any EV battery. Now, what does this mean for the EV market? Well, apart from strengthening China's global foothold in the auto industry, it would also put the country in price control dominance, which is dangerous. Many experts have opined that the price of graphite would increase, adding more to the issues around EVs. Maybe some of the giants in the auto industry adopting hydrogen-powered engine cars are right. Perhaps it's time to experience how hydrogen cars can be energy efficient and quiet, boast equivalent performance, and range from gasoline counterparts without producing emissions. Valuable vehicle characteristics include performance, power, emissions, refueling time, and range. A hydrogen-based engine has all these traits, which are lacking in EVs. As the auto giants cut their EV productions, with China's trade power and other factors, the future of EVs is uncertain. Begging the question, will automakers replace EV production with hydrogen-powered engine cars? Will gas cars make a massive comeback in the auto industry if hydrogen is unrealistic? There are many ifs, but let us know your thoughts in the comments below.